And welcome to Assembly Update. I'm Ted Flint. Joining us today, Assemblyman Michael Novikov, who serves the 45th Assembly District. That includes Kings County. Assemblyman Novikov, good to see you.
Good to see you, Ted.
And happy Hanukkah to you and yours. I know you've been busy with Hanukkah-related events, a number of menorah lightings. Why don't you tell us what you've been up to?
Yes, and Hanukkah celebration in my district is always very festive.
Sure.
There are many Hanukkah lighting in all over the district, on the borders of the district, and I always go to menorah lighting and on Brighton Beach. We need to. The menorah is so big, we need to use a lift, like a construction lift.
Really?
To get there, and it's always a lot of fun. I also have been to menorah lighting on Manhattan Beach, which is next to Brighton Beach, and we were. It was very festive as well. We were dancing with the community, and I had a lot of fun. It's a fun holiday, and we have like a menorah car parade with little menorahs on the roof of the cars. We have a lot of interesting, fun stuff going on in the district, celebrating Hanukkah, and of course all the other holidays. Well, Christmas is just around the corner, you know.
Yep.
So it's the celebration is in the air. We can feel it, we can see it, and certainly we will enjoy every minute of it.
It is a beautiful time of year, to say the least. And you also took part in the last event of Mayor Adams' administration. What was that like?
Yes, that it was, and it was a Hanukkah reception at the not at the Grace Mansion, not at the mayor's residence, but at the Surrogate Court building, which is a beautiful building, very classy, and I'm very thankful to Mayor Adams for hosting these Hanukkah events every year. But Ted, I have to admit, this event was very special because we all know that. You can criticize the current mayor, you can love him, you can hate him, but it is absolutely obvious that Mayor Adams was very good friend of the Jewish community, of the Russian-speaking community, which I'm very thankful to him for. And I was able to give a speech. I just want to read a couple of sentences from there because I started it. It happened just a day after the terrible terror attack in Australia in Bondi Beach. So and it was just impossible to celebrate, not mentioning the horror that happened in Australia. So I've said that. There's nothing progressive about calling for the destruction of a people. There's nothing moral about excusing anti-Semitism because it is fashionable or politically convenient. And there's nothing just about remaining silent while Jews are signaled out, threatened, and attacked. New York is a home to the largest Jewish population outside of Israel. And that is not just a point of pride. It is a responsibility to speak clearly, a responsibility to draw lines without hesitation, and a responsibility to say that anti-Semitism, whether it's from the far right or the far left or anywhere else, has no place in this city. And Hanukkah teaches us that light can overcome darkness, but only if we're willing to protect this light. So, Mayor Adams, I want to sincerely thank you for standing with the Jewish people and the Jewish community, especially in the days following October 7th, at a moment of profound pain, fear, and uncertainty. Your presence and your voice mattered. You showed up, you stood with us, and you made it clear that New York City stands with its Jewish community, not just in words, but in action. And of course, we will never forget that. So, May the light of may the light of Hanukkah shine brighter than the hatred we confront, and may we all have the courage to stand against it together. I think that it was very very important to address this, and to thank Mayor Adams for his support um, to the Jewish community of New York. I mean, and we all know, the new mayor is coming, and we all remember. Even though Mamdani is now like trying to wear kippah, be friendly with the Jewish community, but we all know the guy never condemned, globalized the Intifada, which basically means kill the Jews. And the new mayor of New York City never condemned that. Never. That's a big problem. And that, if we're taking it further to what happened in Australia, I think that's a big part of it.
Left. When you talk about
Exactly.
globalizing the Intifada, I mean, you're going to get a global, attack against Jews, and that's what's happening. We see it all over the globe.
Exactly. And when when people with mental issues hear that they read those progressive, so-called progressive, I think it's regressive, blogs and social media figures, and some public figures as the New York City mayor, and it turns something in their minds, and then they grab a gun and they go and kill Jews. That's it. All begins with that hatred. It all begins with that rhetoric, right? So I think it is not only the person who has a gun or a knife in his hands have to bear the responsibility. It is also people who, inside this hatred, whose rhetoric leads to this terrible, horrific actions. And I even think that something should be done legislatively. Right after that, I mean, a couple of days after that, I think it happened yesterday. Um, a Jew in it's outside of my district, Crown Heights. It's one of the largest Jewish communities in New York City, in the world actually, and a Jewish community of Lubavitcher Rebbe. A Jew was stabbed by knife, and he was just lucky. His sweater was very thick, and it just didn't get it. The knife didn't get enough through to harm him badly. Yeah. But he was in the hospital. He's okay. But when stabbing him, the guy just screamed, "I'm gonna kill a Jew today."
We go from, you talked about the Bondi Beach attack, 15 dead there, dozens injured. The attack in Brown University, 2 dead, some 15 injured. I mean, it's just because the victims were Jewish. That's the reason given by their attackers. I guess the gunman is still at large, responsible for the Brown University attack.
And let's not forget that Australia has one of the strictest gun laws.
Right.
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 Which tells us once again, it's the people who shoot, not the guns. The gun
right.
cannot shoot without the people, without the person behind it.
It's the heart of the person
pushing the trigger. Right. And what happened at Brown is absolutely, it is tragic. I mean, it's a different story. It's a different situation. And those mass shootings in America's schools and universities, unfortunately, it's a long tradition. And it is. I truly believe that we need to do better taking care of the mental health of many people, and kind of doing it from the early age.
Mm-hmm.
That could be the consequences of bullying. That could be It could be, but this is the core is the mental very bad mental state in which some of our citizens are.
Mike, I was reading as I was preparing for the program, I was reading some things. I don't know if you're familiar with Melanie Phillips. She is a British journalist, writes for The Guardian. She herself is Jewish. And I'm paraphrasing her. She said, in a healthy society, anti-Semitism is kept under control. It's stigmatized. It's always there. Anti-Semitism always was there, always will be. But in a healthy society, they kind of stigmatize it. In a society that is turned against itself and against reason and decency, anti-Semitism runs unchecked. And that, she said, Western culture, Western society, that's where most of Western culture is right now, unfortunately.
That's brilliantly said, and it is absolutely true. Yes, something went wrong, Ted. Something turned out wrong, and it seems like it's a trend. But there's nothing trendy in hating the whole nation, and I'm talking about any nation right now, not only Jews. I mean, it's just, but with the Jews, unfortunately, history takes us very far away. It's a long story. It's a long story. We recently, few months ago, we celebrated 5,786th year. So it's Jew hatred has a very, very long history, unfortunately. And we all hope that after the World War II, after Holocaust, after Auschwitz, after all the horrors that the Jewish nation went through, finally having the Jewish state, anti-Semitism wouldn't even live in the Western world. But we were wrong. Unfortunately, we were wrong. It still lives, and it not just leaves. It is a trend now, which is a shame.
It's a beautiful time of year. If you mentioned up top with Hanukkah, and unfortunately, it's been marred by some of these events. But we wish you and yours a very happy Hanukkah, Michael, and we'll talk to you in the new year. This is the last program for the current 2025, but we look forward to doing many more shows with you in the coming year. So best
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ted, and happy holidays, and Merry Christmas to you, and Happy New Year.
And thank you very much, Michael, for joining us. You want to get in touch with Assemblyman Novikov, 718-743-4078. That's it for this edition of Assembly Update. We will talk to you soon.